and let's start in verse 13. It says, Then Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, gave a commandment to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying to them, Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if you are ready at this time, you will hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the harp, the lyre, the psaltery, the symphony, with all kinds of music. You fall down and worship the image which I have made good. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If that is the case, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we will not serve you or your gods, nor worship the golden image which you have set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, and the expression of his face changed toward Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He spoke and commanded that they heat the furnace 7 times more than it usually was heated. And he commanded certain mighty men of valor who were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their cords, their trousers and their turbans, and their other outer garments were cast in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was so urgent, the furnace was exceedingly hot, and the flames of fire killed those men who took Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the fiery furnace. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar was astonished. He rose in haste and spoke, saying to his counselor, Did not we cast 3 men into the midst of the fire? They answered and said, Yes, king. Yes, O true king. Look, he answered, I see 4 men loosed, walking in the midst of the fire. They are not hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. And so we see here that Nebuchadnezzar, a type of antichrist, made an image and demanded that he get worship, that the image of him get worship. This is going to happen again in the end times. I mean, Revelation chapter 13 tells us that the false prophet sets up an image of the beast, of the Antichrist, and all who don't worship him will be killed. And so we see it here. We see that Daniel in chapter 1 is confronted with dietary issues. Daniel in chapter 2 gives the interpretation of a dream to the king. And here in chapter 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were cast into a fiery furnace for not worshiping the Antichrist, not bowing their knee to him. And they were sentenced to capital punishment, which was thrown into the fire, and God delivered them. God himself was in the fire. I mean, Isaiah chapter 43, I think, tells us that even though we go in the water, we shall not be overtaken. When we go into the fire, we don't even smell like smoke. And so these 3 men were delivered, and it changed the heart of the king forever, seeing that their God, which they refused to turn their back on their God. I mean, the Bible's very clear in the end times. Those that don't take the mark of the beast and those that don't worship the image of the beast are in jeopardy of capital punishment. Here we see that God can protect us when he wants to through capital punishment. And so we need to hold on to faith and continue to be steadfast and never worship another man, never bow to another man in worship. Anyway, that's our message for today. Thanks for joining us. Please pray about joining us as a follower. Please pray about giving to us, donating to us monthly, becoming a partner with us. We produce the content here. We produce probably 12 to 15 videos a week here at our ministry. And then we also produce curriculums, which are studio-based, studio-edited curriculums that we shoot. And they have an accompanying workbook and a teaching guide. And so individual small groups and community groups, even churches, can use those as teaching guides. Anyway, God bless you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.